In this exercise, we'll use the Ally checklist to finish out making our web page as accessible as we can. So here we have put together this website of users affected by website accessibility, and we've run through the Wave tool. We've made a lot of considerations for accessibility from the start of the chapter up through 7.3. And we start by looking at the Ally Project's checklist. And we don't cover everything in the checklist in this exercise, so you should take a look at this URL and look throughout it. For instance, we don't talk about using plain language. We tried to build that into the project, but it's worthwhile to take a look at this entire checklist on your own. But we will hit a bunch of the check boxes here as we're going through and looking at our website. So in my code space, I have the 7.3 start file. I'm following the first exercise in 7.3, so a few adjustments have already been made. But here we start by adding a tab index. We would like these navigation options to be able to be accessed by the tab key. So you'll find those divs in the navigation here in the nav container, and it's each one, right? So coincidentally, they all have these options for the color scheme. So you can look for the word option. Command F will give you a find, and you could look for the word option and find them all there. In the nav tool, you can see we've left some comments to help you see what we're doing in this exercise. So it says accessibility change to nav element, and then here add tab index to these div option elements. So for each one, you'll simply go through, and even if you just start writing tab, you'll see the code hint will come up and will prompt you with tab index. So you can go one by one and do that. You can also copy and paste if you want the tab index like this. Okay, but we want that in each of the navigation divs so that the complete nav tool is enabled through tab. With tab index in place, if you go and view your work, what you'll see is a thin blue circle around each nav element, which means that that you can use the tab key to kind of hop from one to the next. I'm pressing tab right now, and you can see that thin blue circle selecting those. We could see that thin blue circle, but we'll give even more feedback to the user by updating the JavaScript. So if you see down here in the script, here we're working with JavaScript to get the user portraits, and then here where we're going to add a focus listener, this is where you'll paste the code that will give us a little bit of feedback each time the user hovers or focuses on those nav tools. I could use the prettier extension here to make this look a little better, but I'll just use some tabs for the moment. And you can see as I press tab to work my way through the nav tool, the page changes as well. The content of the page is also changing. Next, we'll add more feedback, more visual feedback, and we'll do this up in the style area. And this is a small amount of code, but we're just going to change the cursor so that when the user is hovering over those nav elements, the cursor will change to a pointer. Some of these may feel like very small adjustments, but they have a big impact. So rather than just seeing that arrow, it's nice to see that cursor. And the last adjustment will also take place in styles. We just thought that blue outline was very small and it was hard to see, and also the color didn't really go with the colors on our page. So we decided to remove that blue outline with that option. Anytime there was a hover state or a focus state, we'd remove that blue outline. And anytime the nav element was active, we'd just make it a little bit bigger. We thought this would give more impactful visual feedback that didn't really affect the overall design of the site. And so now if I hover over the nav elements, I'm going to see it increase in size. I can also use my tab key, which I'm doing right now. I'm just pressing tab, and now my site is just a little bit more user friendly and definitely more accessible for users across all kinds of platforms and using keys or the mouse or the trackpad.